Hi, I'm Jon Duchac, and I'd like to talk to you about how technology is changing the way our students learn. As authors, we asked ourselves when we were writing the 26th edition of Warren Reed Duchac, how could we use technology to reach the students in a way that we could never reach them before with a print textbook? During that process, we had to ask ourselves, how do students learn accounting? When we started to ask ourselves that question, we realized that most students learn accounting by doing the homework. The end of chapter homework is a powerful tool that students use to learn the accounting system. And we said, how could we use technology to help those students learn that system in a way that we never had available to us with a print textbook? And as a result of that deliberation and those conversations, we came up with the concept of a dynamic exhibit. Dynamic exhibits take real exhibits from our textbook and provide them with a moving slider. And what the slider does, it allows the student to change the data input to an accounting exhibit to see how input data changes impact the outputs of the accounting system. So in this example, I've got a traditional wage accrual. And we all know that when students learn wage accruals, one of the challenging things is the cutoff date. What's the last day of the week? Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Is it Friday? And with our dynamic exhibits, what we've done is we've given the students an opportunity to actually control the data themselves. So as you can see, we have a slider at the top of this exhibit that starts on Monday. This exhibit is right out of our textbook. It's a traditional textbook exhibit. And as you can see, we've got the wages expense and the wage accruals on the date in which Monday is the last day of the month. And as we scroll down, you can see that when Monday is the last day of the month, we have a wage expense of $125, a wage payable of $125, and the impact that that has on the accounting equation, it follows through from the cutoff date. Now, if we go back up to the top, one of the things that students ask me when they show up in my office hours is, well, I understand how it works if Monday's the last day of the month, but what happens if Tuesday's the last day of the month? Well, with our sliders, the student can move that slider themselves. And as you can see, when they move the slider to Tuesday, it adjusts all of the accounting outputs. So they can now see that the wage expense reflects the Tuesday cutoff date, the wage accrual reflects the Tuesday cutoff date, as do our journal entries and the impact on the accounting equation. This is an incredibly powerful tool for students because one of the biggest challenges that students have is understanding the connection between the inputs to the accounting system and the outputs. So with our sliders, we give students a chance to actually control the data themselves. This makes this active learning versus passive learning. The traditional textbook was a passive learning tool. Students had to go in there and had to force themselves to read the material and work the homework problems. With a dynamic exhibit, students are able to engage with the technology, much the way they engage with their cell phone, their iPad, and their computer. Now, the beauty of this technology is it's so much more powerful than our print textbook. Because not only do the students have the ability to change the data sets, but we have also included little information icons. These information icons provide hints as to what's going on in the exhibit. This gives the student a way to interact with the content over issues that they would typically struggle with. These information buttons provide clues as to why the numbers are changing. This provides students with an incredibly active learning process that they never were able to have with a print textbook. We're really excited about this. We've injected dynamic exhibits throughout the textbook. These exhibits can be used in a number of ways. Instructors can use these in the classroom. If you're an instructor that was teaching accruals, you could stand up in front of the classroom and use these sliders to illustrate the different outputs if the end of the week was Monday, Tuesday, or Friday. In addition, students can use these things in their dorm room. If your students are anything like my students, they're studying at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night, and they might need some help. The technology we've built for this helps them see how the content ties to the accounting system. And the last thing is we're meeting the students on their playing field. Technology is where they live. Interacting with technology is what they do. And these dynamic exhibits give students an ability to engage with the content in a means that they're familiar with. We're really excited about these. We've placed dynamic exhibits throughout our books in the difficult places so that students can use these dynamic exhibits to help them learn difficult concepts.